Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna.
Bluetooth connected.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Let's see here. Okay, why isn't this going again? Come on, man. Come on. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Gauranga, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Gauranga, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Gauranga. Oh, Gauranga, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama. Oh yeah. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Gauranga, Nityananda. Gauranga. Isn't his name fantastic? Wow. I can't wait to go on the street and shout it from the rooftops. Wake them up. Wake them all up. Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Hare Hare. I gotta get it. I have a lousy chair. Ooh, man, this is my backup. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Try this other one. Oh, ooh. Hare Rama. Whoa, shoot. Oh man. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Oh, maybe this is better. Let's see. Whew. Oh. New hotel. Uh-oh. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gauranga Nityananda. Hey, where's River? She wanted to come on. What happened to her?
Damn, it will make this one.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Oh, that was. Oh, Krishna. Oh, Krishna. Damn, you're so good. Krishna, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, there she is, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Purchase your tracks today.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama. There he is, Hare Bo there, Karuna. Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Oh, one hit song after another. Unfortunately, I'm going to take that one off because we're going to... Let's try that one. Hare Krishna, Gauranga. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Jai Jesus, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Oh Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Gauranga Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama. Ooh, wow, man, what a
Thanks for using.
It becomes more and more every day. You notice that? This mantra? What an exquisite treasure. Unbelievable, man. We really owe a debt to Lord Chaitanya for, getting this thing going, man. Going out there, chanting, just dedicated to the chanting of holy name, showing how fantastic it is by personal experience. See, encouraging us so that we keep going, Yeah. I had no idea it'd be this good. And it just gets better. It's literally the white lotus of good fortune. So everybody be encouraged. Just keep on chanting, man. Yeah, it's just going to get better, especially with this association. You can't lose. Guaranteed winners. You're all going to be guaranteed winners. Can't lose now, man. Yeah. We might even pull Mr. Al Wolf in this. Let's say get him swept up in this. He's so bah humbug. Bah humbug. What does it say? Crying, laughing. Let's make that guy happy. Somebody got to tickle him. It's so funny, man. Oh my goodness. So you guys can take your microphones off. Let's chant some japa together. Let's see how that goes. Let's try this out. Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
So everybody chant the right way, the way Al Wolf wants us.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
So not intoxicated. No intoxication.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Rama, Hare
Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Rama,
Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, 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 Krishna
Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama,
Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Rama, 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 Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama,
Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Ram Hare Ram
Ram,
Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna Hare 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 Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram Rama
Hare
Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna Rama Krishna Krishna. Okay, I'm going to read a little bit. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Sri Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaur Bhaktavinda, Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Sri
Jaya
Advaita
Sri
Chandra, Jaya
Advaita
Gaur Bhaktavinda,
Chandra
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay, Jai Srila Prabhupada, Jai Jesus Christ, all glories to the assembled devotees. Look what kind of friends the Lord has sent me. My goodness, I am well protected in this association. Guaranteed Vrindavan Dham. Okay, so we'll continue on with this Bhagavatam chapter. It's Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto and chapter 2. Continuing on from where we were before. Pure devotional service. This is Narada Muni, I think. Yeah, Narada said, "O best of the Sattvatas, you have quite correctly asked about the eternal duty of the living entity towards the Supreme Lord." Isn't that amazing? The eternal duty. People don't know that. That's why they're more or less morose in the modes of passion and ignorance, being little demons and little asuras, and even demigods and the big false egos, thinking they're wanting to be adored and wanting to be acknowledged and all that stuff. It's all absorption in the false self. See, this is our eternal duty. Think about that. This is for everybody. This is you see how big this family is? You see why, the Vedas say that the spiritual, it's not even a creation. The spiritual world has always been there. 3/4 of the creation, they're all glorifying that Supreme Lord, like we're learning to do here in our eternal duty. And not only as, practicing, but actually from the heart, this white lotus of good fortune, is expanding its leaves more and more. We're becoming so attuned to the spiritual dimension, as above in the spiritual world, 3/4 where they're all singing the glories of the Lord. They're so fantastic. We're starting to pierce that, starting to taste those glories. How fantastic they are, how amazing they are, how life transforming they are. No wonder it's an eternal duty. It's not even a duty, it's a necessity. Why doesn't anybody, why wouldn't we want to be happy? We're not going to be happy until we really find out the supreme pleasure of the Lord is that glorification for our own benefit, for his benefit in our own hearts. Without it, he's suffering here in the world in the form of the living beings. Amazing, isn't it? Man, we're so privileged And this kind of privilege is not this sectarian privilege in the world they're teaching. That this is all Maya, illusions, shadows. White privilege, black privilege, orange privilege, and all this stuff, and white supremacies, and all this divisions. No, it's a privilege. This is a privilege for all beings to glorify the Lord and become happy again, truly happy. See, so Narada Muni's going around, just that's all he does eternally, just when he's preaching in the world. That's why it never gets hackneyed to say the same things when you really feel it, man. You want to hear it again and again. Bhagavad Gita 10:10, Yeah, to those who worship, right? For Karuna's steam room experience in there. For those who worship Krishna with loving ecstasy, I give them the understanding how to come back into the kingdom. This is the understanding. This is Narada Muni has it. All we do is just joyfully and relishably repeat it, and magnify it, glorify it. This is treasure, man. This is the pearl of great price. This is what Jesus was doing for 3 years. It was so much. That was his food. I have food that you know not of. And that's this what you're seeing here, right here today. Not only with this fool, but these other transcendental fools who are not so foolish anymore because they're doing the greatest thing in the world. The Lord gives them real intelligence. So you should associate with these kind of fools that have the right intelligence. Let's see, what Narada says. Oh, I just love this. Eternal duty. So is a supreme Lord. See? Supreme Lord. He's the Lord. Otherwise, you're going to have the Biden. You want Biden to control your life? Oh, my God. Or these premiers or the Boris over there. You want them to be your leader? Fearful leader, nothing to do, produce fears? No, you have to come learn how to accept the Supreme Lord with great joy and realization that, hey, man, this is the best deal. Check out the Vaishnavas in this Sangha. It's not a forced thing. It's a joyful, wonderful thing. Happy, worshiping a happy God that makes you happy eternally and free. Never again will any of us here have to go through this again. It's finished. This one little tolerate, one time, this stuff. So what? It's finished here. And anybody else can finish it. Anybody joins this little group, we're the Salvation Army, man. The real one, beyond salvation. This is pure devotional service. Very clear knowledge here, very clear ecstasy, very clear happiness. Can't get any clearer. Yeah. You just got to be a really big fool to criticize what we're doing. This when I see these fools just criticizing this stuff, they have no. I have to just say what Jesus said. Oh, my Lord, God, please, my Lord, please forgive them. They know not what they do. They are just one big dum-dums. They can't help it. They're under the modes of nature. It makes this glorious thing that we're doing seem unreal. All the way up into, that's how you can tell Vaishnavism is religion still, because they don't like what we're doing. Don't even get an invite to ISKCON. Can you imagine? Here, we're bringing in that Lord that they're worshiping that obviously they don't even know about very well, because they don't even give an invite to the most glorious devotees here that chant the holy name with great ecstatic devotion, just like Lord Chaitanya and his devotees were doing 550 years ago. And they can only advance by this kind of association. Otherwise, they'll die Vaidhi Bhaktas. Just practicing rules and regulations, and they won't have this spirit. It'll always be the Swami step without, any of the real, it's just a big show, I'm sorry, but that's the truth. How long do you want to just do this big friggin' show? Like Horace, what they practice together. Let's just practice this. No spontaneous. You want anybody that to have a desire to dance through that empty show? It's empty compared. This tasting, this bhakti. You look around at that and you think that is one empty thing, one empty cup. Many thousands of empty cups out there. Devotional service, even in the mode of goodness, is empty compared to this. How can I not glorify what is life like Jesus Christ did? I have life and I can give it to you abundantly. If you can't say that, you're not a real guru, man. Not of the stature to liberate people out of this universe. You have to have life and people got to see you got life. More life than these bozos out there acting as gurus and not afraid to call them bozos when they're bozos. Clowns. Ooh. New place. You gotta be careful. But,
We've got substance. We've got substance.
What are you afraid of committing offense? What, to point out the truth that they're not eternally liberated souls? And if you are, prove it, man. Let's see some tears come out when you chant the holy name. Show that you represent Lord Chaitanya. Hey, Lord Chaitanya cried, Nityananda cried. Why don't you cry if you represent them? They laughed. Why don't you laugh like if you represent them? My own students and disciples represent them more than 1,000 of those persons out there. So why is anybody going there? When you can have the truth here. Hey, man, am I telling the truth? Or is this a lie? Isn't it better to be with the truth than it is with show bottles? Show in a bottle, nobody can get into the bottle. You got to come through the neck. You got to come through the preaching of a liberated soul, liberated devotee that you can see with your own eyes. They're liberated. You check it in the book and you check it because they awaken devotion in others. Proof is in the pudding. It's all about that, man. Okay, what else? Sorry, I went off on a tangent. I just get a little excited sometimes. Such devotional service to the Lord is so potent that its performance can purify the entire universe, man. Look at all these people. The demons are trying to pollute the universe, destroy everything and create their imagination stuff. And then the demigods are trying to preserve it. They're trying to fight for it and all that. But that's no purification either way, really. This is purification for everybody. This is for the welfare of everyone. Demons, demigods, even trees, animals. If your animals become part of this group, they get Lord Chaitanya's mercy. Did you know that? Well, the Lord says that. Shadow's got a good destination. He's eating and sleeping in the right place. Yeah. Purifies the whole universe. What we purify? No wonder it's so exciting to stay here 3, 4, 5 hours a day at one pop and then go on afterwards a few times. It purifies the whole universe. And it's easy and it's wonderful. It's natural. It's organic, transcendentally organic. To purify the universe. Why not? Why? Why is it? Because we're drawing the Lord here, you see? And we're making him happy. He's making us happy. And so this process of pure devotional service is purifying the whole universe without any effort. What's the effort for the Lord to purify the universe? So all we're doing is just drawing the Lord into this energy field. Down here, we're just pulling them down here by this. He just loves. He's very attracted to pure devotional service. He's very attractive to glorification of the absolute truth as it is. He's very attracted to pointing out what is illusion, so his part and parcels can find their way out of illusion. He's very happy that somebody shines the light of truth so people can find their way out. Where is the real path? The narrow gate, so they can get into Vrindavan quickly in this life, even. Very happy about that. How do you know, Gorharidas? Because I feel it. I feel the Lord and He feels me, man. That's Vrindavan. And that's everybody gonna. That's hey man, win-win, man. You become like Guru and even better. Ye shall do greater things than I. Already it's happening. It's amazing. I love it, man. Yeah. All right. So great verse. Pure devotional service rendered to the Supreme Lord is spiritually so potent, it's simply by hearing about such transcendental service. Hearing about it? Are you hearing about it? Just do a checklist. This is our checklist. Are you hearing about pure devotional service and its glories? It's so potent if you are. This is as it is. It actually becomes your experience. If you're really hearing pure devotional principles and its glories, you should experience its potency. So let's see what else it says. It's so potent. So potent. Let's see what else. I love it. Break it down, man. Analyze this. So potent that simply by hearing about such transcendental service, by chanting its glories, you see, that's what I'm doing, chanting its glories and also listening. Double the pleasure, man. Chant then and listen too, like you guys. So potent. Clearing its glories. What else? In response, by meditating on it. Yeah, we're definitely meditating on it. By respectfully and faithfully accepting it. You notice we got all ducks in a row here. We're doing all of that here. I think people here are pretty accepting, except Al Wolf. Where are you, Al Wolf? We need some perspective here. We need to see how you're not accepting it and how you're. Need to see that. That helps us develop faith in the real path because we want to be happy. You come here and do and all that, and then we can say, "Wow, man, this is really real." See, highest truth distinguished from illusion. That's definitely not where I want to be. Why do you want to be there, Mr. Wolf, or anybody else? Yeah, we're hearing about the glories of pure devotional service? Yes or no? Of course, So potent. Narada Muni he's glorifying the essence of truth. And so does Bhagavatam. See, living devotee glorifying the book Bhagavat. They say the same thing, unless they're hiding Krishna still. See, well, Prabhupada and Bhakti, they hid Krishna because there's a lot of Al Wolfs out there. Right? Doesn't that make sense? He attracted them, so he knew by and by they'll fall into the trap. But there are a lot of Al Wolfs out there, in that mood. What you Prabhupada, why are you crying? I'm leaving. So they held it back. Bhakti Siddhanta too. Because even now, the Gaudiya Math for years, and Gaudiya Math and Gaudiya Smiti also a little bit, maybe less, but they're always, hold it back, man. Don't show it. They ain't even got it, but don't show it. Because Rupa Goswami did it. But Lord Chaitanya did. So what's going on? Nityananda did. But they didn't. Well, maybe it was like a Prabhupada time. But this is a Lord Chaitanya Nityananda time. This is that time, expressive, right? Make the devotees really happy. Let them see the true nature of God living in this world because we accepting pure devotional service. So much so, we want others to accept it too. Why not? It'll make them happy. We know it. They know Mr. Al Wolf would be so happy if he accepted this. Yeah. So we're after you, Mr. Wolf. We want to make you happy. or by praising the devotional service of others. You notice that happening now too. It's moved into praise. Devotees are praising the service of others because they can see honestly the symptoms of pure devotional service. It's wonderful to praise it. I love when I see it, I want to praise it. You know, it's just so potent. Don't you like potency? I like it. Don't you? Doesn't the word potency sound better than emptiness? If you want emptiness, go to Buddhism. Who would want emptiness when you can have potency, fullness? See? Krishna consciousness, fullness. What do you want emptiness for? Fullness. Fullness of what? Spirit. See, who we are, we're spirit, man. Your spirit glorification. Yeah. Glorification of the Supreme Spirit, where our life is. Man, that glorification, you just tap right into the infinite. Infinite energy, infinite inspiration, infinite joy, infinite abundance, ducking swan, infinite bliss, infinite rapture. Have you noticed here? That's why the wolves, our wolves, can't understand what's going on. We devotees are not like that. Well, you know, this is where it's going, man. We know who we worship, right? Isn't it nice to know who you worship? Who I worship is one ecstatic dude, and the book says so. So why are you saying different? The book says abandon all varieties of religion when you find this. And this person says, embrace religion. Can you imagine how twisted? And he shows you it's not enough to be a Prabhupada disciple for 50 years even. He still can't understand things as they are. They got neat shiksha. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Shiksha from ecstatic devotees. Even persons who hate the demigods and all other living beings can immediately be purified. That's right. See, simply by hearing and getting purified and coming to the point of acceptance, that's called faith. See, that's why with getting faith in these kinds of confidential topics, you go right up into praying very easily. You know, especially more and more the unaccepting part of you gets right? And then when that's out of the way, you got real faith. And then all your sins are forgiven. You start chanting in ecstasy forever. It's like playing a flute. It's just like, to me, the chanting is like playing a flute now. I can't do it. It's just like I'm just right there chanting that mantra, man, and incredible bliss, incredible happiness in just playing that flute, man. I didn't know Krishna was leading me to throwing the flute in my hand. I had no idea. I thought he just played the flute. Isn't that? Throws it to I was wondering why he threw it to Gropa Kumar sometimes, or he throws it to the gopis. And they play also. I had no idea that was going to show up in my life. I got to play the flute sometimes. It's really nice. Not that I'm Krishna, I'm just a servant. But he throws the flute in a servant's hand sometimes. You notice? It says in the pastimes. Why is it in there? Because that flute was thrown into the writer's hand, like Rupa Goswami and all the devotees. Krishnadas Kaviraj. The flute's flute. That's what they're doing. They're playing the flute in their writings, in their preachings, in their chantings. Yeah, immediately purified. So today you have made me remember my Lord, the supremely blissful personality of Godhead, Narayan. So why wouldn't anybody want to be a devotee of the supremely blissful Narayan, Krishna especially for us in our life? Why wouldn't I? Man, you start tasting that name, there you go. That's it, right? The supremely blissful one. You are now, I'm devoted to that bliss. That's basically what we're saying, you know. Who are you a devotee? I'm a devotee of the supremely blissful one. I've been very blissfully being a devotee of that Lord, man. I just love chanting Radha and Krishna's name. They're supremely blissful. All the Vaishnavas in Vrindavan are blissful. Those devotees are coming here, more and more. And they're blissful, hearing and chanting about the pure devotional service of the Lord. If you're not blissful, seeing and hearing this, what's going on here, well, you're not very smart. It's called, you know. But we're here, to manifest. Hare Krishna. Today you have made me remember my Lord, the blissful personality of Godhead Narayan. The Supreme Lord is so auspicious that whoever hears and chants about him becomes completely pious. You notice some are not, after 50 years, they're not becoming completely pious. Isn't that amazing? Why? That's why it's a process, nam aparad. See? They're chanting the glories and still they're not attracted to pure devotional service. Yeah. But they will be in many lifetimes. Lord Chaitanya said he would give pure devotional service to people like in Navadvip, and whoever would accept it. Basically, accepting of it is so potent, you become immediately purified. If you can just accept this kind of preaching, this glorification of pure devotional service, you can become completely pious, like so easily, and completely pious. Purified pious, enabled to chant the holy name with great ecstatic love. But if you don't accept these glories and these truths, I'm just repeating the confidential section of the Vedas, of this Bhagavatam, just like Jesus Christ did, and people got the Holy Spirit. They didn't get it with Moses. You know why? With the Pharisees. Because they were just quoting Moses' verses and speculating, and their hearts were hard, and they just thought about you committed a sin. Oh, that's unforgivable. We have no forgiveness in our hearts. We don't have a forgiven God that we worship, and you made a mistake. You're going to have to be punished for it and stoned. See, stone hearts, stone philosophy. Philosopher's stone. For stony hearts. No, the Lord's full of mercy. He wants to liberate everybody. This is on Prabhupada's order. I'm doing this. On Prabhupada's order, preaching the glories of the confidential truths of Bhagavatam and Gita and all of these books. And so people, look at you. You accepting the glories of pure devotional service you experience, immediately purified. It is so potent, right? Your examples, oh yeah, this is so potent. Hearing the glories of the Lord chanting. To explain the devotional service of the Lord, sages have related the ancient history of the conversation between the great soul, King Videha, and the sons of Rishabha. River, do you have the capacity to read there, or do you want to? Or no? Okay, I'll continue then. Sri Vishnudev, Rishabdev is accepted as an expansion. Text 8. King Bharat rejected this material world, considering all types of material pleasure temporary and useless. Leaving his beautiful young wife and family, he worshiped Lord Hari by severe austerities and attained the abode of the Lord after 3 lifetimes. Could you imagine trying to follow that path? Very difficult. We wouldn't do it. See, why, 3 lifetimes, all that. See, but this was before Lord Chaitanya's mercy. See, this is just associate with ecstatic devotees, and you will just naturally let go of the world more and more and more, faster than if you were trying to do austerities. You'd have to take three lifetimes to do that. Here in this lifetime, very much you just look at the world and it's not interesting anymore. And if it is, it's on its way out. See, we just taste these glories more and more. All right. Hey, let's do a little chanting here. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare.
Bluetooth connected.
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Okay, we'll chant a little bit first. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram. I might have to stand up a little bit. My back is hurting again. It's better. Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Oh, that's cool. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, 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 Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thanks for using.
Okay, let me read something now. Read some static stuff.
You said Yamuna or Lalita?
I said Lalita now. You can read.
Okay. Because I think Yamuna was waiting to read.
You want her to read? Maybe we have her read then.
I like to read, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to have you both read, but you read a little bit now first.
Okay. Oh, glory to you, Guru Maharaj. Always grateful to be able to do this service for you. Please keep me in this service. Thank you so much. Om Namo Bhagavate. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Pure devotional service rendered to the Supreme Lord is spiritually so potent that simply by hearing about such transcendental service, by chanting its glories in response, and by meditating on it, by respectfully and faithfully accepting it, oh my God, and by praising the devotional service of others, Even persons who hate the demigods and all other living beings, they can be immediately, they can be immediately purified. And today, you have made me remember, my Lord, the supremely blissful personality of Godhead, Narayan, the Supreme Lord, is so, but so auspicious that whoever hears and chants about him becomes completely pious. To explain the devotional service of the Lord, sages have related the ancient history of the conversation between the great king Videha and the sons of Rasba. Svajabu Mamadu had a son named Maharaj Prayavrata, and among Prayavratra's sons was Agnidra, and from Agnidra was born Nabi, whose son was known as Rasabadeva. Sri Rasabadeva is accepted as an expansion of the Supreme Lord. Vasudeva, he incarnated in this world to propagate those religious principles, to lead living entities to ultimate liberation. He had 100 sons, all perfect in Vedic knowledge. Of the 100 sons of Lord Rasabadeva, the eldest Bharata was completely devoted to Lord Narayana. It is because of Bharata's fame that this planet is now celebrated as the great Bharata Varsha. King Bharata, he rejected this material world, considering all types of material pleasure temporary and useless. Leaving his beautiful wife and family, he worshipped Lord Hari by severe austerities, and he attained the abode of the Lord after 3 lifetimes. 9 of the remaining sons of Rasbadevi Deva became the rulers of the 9 islands of Bharatavarsha, and they exercised complete sovereignty over this planet. Each one sons became twice born, twice born Brahmanas, and helped initiate the Vedic path of fruitive sacrifice, Karmakanda. The 9 remaining sons of Rasaba were greatly fortunate sages who worked vigorously to spread knowledge of the absolute truth. They wandered about naked, and they were very well versed in spiritual science. Their names were Kavi, Havir, Antariksha, Prabuddha, Pipalayana, Avirotra, Drumila, Kamaza, and Karabhajana. These sages, they wandered. They wandered the earth, seeing the entire universe with all its gross and subtle objects. as a manifestation of the Supreme Lord, and, and as not different from the self. The nine Jogendras are liberated souls who travel freely to the planets of the demigods, the perfected mystics, the sadhyas, the
You see,
heaven.
you see how you would attain peace, if you see like that. You see why people don't have peace, neither the demons or the demigods. The demons are fighting the demigods, and the demigods are fighting the demons because they don't see that everything, even themselves, are expressions of the Supreme Lord. See, so that's why people lost their peace. That's why there's fighting now
Right.
going. See, they don't see that even the demons are expressions of the demigods. That's why this knowledge helps everybody. You find real peace. The peace surpasses all understanding of the world. Because people in the world consider peace just to be like in a place, like in the mountains or something, or by the sea. See, that's not. You can be by the in the mountains and the sea, and there could be some conflict going on. See, so that destroys your peace. But this cannot be destroyed because it's the truth. The truth is everything is a potency of the Lord. Everything is controlled and owned by the Lord. Even what's going on is part of that. So just knowing that everybody drops their weapons. There's no reason to fight. You're fighting yourself. You're fighting the self. You know, and so but that's what the modes of nature do. It causes agitates the living entities to serve and become more and more bewildered. See, but the sages were disseminating knowledge like what? Like this.
Yeah.
Same thing. It's no difference. So we're part of that. And actually even more because of distributing the holy name. This was before Lord Chaitanya's descent. Some special mercy now. Yeah. So people need to see with this chanting and people being really happy doing it. See, that's what they need to see and engage in it, whether they're clear about it or what, not, because this knowledge is, most people are too stupid to understand things. This is the modes. It makes us very stupid, very dumb, unintelligent. And we think we are very intelligent. See, it's just all illusions everywhere. But if you can just get people to chant, in association, especially with devotees who love this name, and they will just start to become happier and more intelligent too. See, they'll be, just that's what the Lord's plan was, and that's kind of we engage in that also. But it's fun to read the Bhagavatam. Isn't it? It's nice to hear these things and these verses glorifying the truth. That's um, for devotees who like to hear the glories. Yeah, go ahead there, Lalita. Read some more.
Oh. The nine Jogendras are liberated souls who travel who travel freely to the planets of the demigods, the perfected mystics, the sadhyas, the heavenly musicians, the jagsas, the human beings, and the minor demigods such as the Kidaras and the serpents. No, no mundane force can check their free movement, and exactly as they wish, they can travel as well to the worlds, to the worlds of the sages, the angels, the ghostly followers of Lord Shiva, the Vidyadharas.
See, they don't cause any reaction because they're in knowledge. See, demigods cause reactions and demons cause reactions. That's why they're under the laws of karma, because they cause reaction by their mentality, their activities. See, they don't see and give respect to the Lord everywhere, so they cause a reaction. See? But these Nyogendras can go anywhere, and they don't cause reaction among the demons either. Yeah.
Because of
So
the absorbed.
yeah, absorbed in the truth. They're
Yeah.
just absorbed in the truth, and so they can preach here and there and everywhere. And whoever will take their shelter of their understanding becomes free. That's what Jesus said. The Father knows the Son knows the Father, and the Son can reveal the Father to whom He chooses. They're the true Son, the spiritually reborn. See, so everybody here is becoming like that, and you can reveal the true nature of the Father to others. And those who accept your testimony become easily liberated. It's always been like that. This is the path. That's why they're going around preaching. Whoever would accept their testimony and their understanding and as their association would be easily liberated from illusion. Otherwise, very hard. You go to all these other paths and they're of people that are not in this deepest of all knowledge, deepest of all truths of seeing the Lord everywhere. Yeah. Yeah. All right, go ahead.
Once in Ajanaba, the former name of the earth, they came upon the sacrificial performance of the great soul Maharaj Nimi, which was being carried out under the direction of elevated sages. My dear king, seeing those those pure devotees of the Lord who rival the sun in brilliance, everyone present, the performer of the sacrifice,
Yeah,
the
you see the key words here. They were performing sacrifice under the direction of the sages. Okay? So the sages give different instructions, but the best of all those instructions are the instructions that came from our line, from Lord Chaitanya. I mean, it's the best. It's following these instructions lead to the quickest way of transcendence. See, so yeah, but anytime it's always auspicious following the instructions of the sages according to the time, place, and circumstance. That's preaching, even though it may not be fully the limit of the truth, but still it'll help people get there. That's why Prabhupada and Bhaktisiddhanta and Bhaktivinoda preached like they did, knowing that it'll help the people of the world get to the ultimate destination. And so this is really the new will of the Lord here, is to hear this instruction, because this takes it back to where the original preaching was from Lord Chaitanya, the original instructions. So the time is now, it's ready for people to hear that so that they can quickly enter into the kingdom of prema, this feeling, this natural inclination to love God by serving the Lord, by chanting his names and sharing this with others. See, this is, so following this instruction is really wonderful. And so the best thing to do is you got to hear, where is the instruction the most clear? Where is it being enunciated the most clear? So that's really the essence. And so what is the instruction that we're sharing here? It's just, hey, chant the holy name and do it amongst ecstatic devotees who have realized the result of this chanting. That's what Lord Chaitanya was teaching. Yeah. In that time. Be amongst the prema bhaktas, and then you will very quickly feel the waves of devotion. That was the preaching, and we're preaching that again, not just around. Okay, it's fine. You everyone is a devotee. Okay, everyone is a devotee. Well, now it's time to distinguish the difference between an advanced devotee who chants the holy name in ecstatic love and one who doesn't. Whether they're guru, it doesn't matter. Who chants the holy name with great ecstatic devotion, and then you'll very quickly enter the kingdom. It's time for that preaching now. See, isn't that right from the book? Right from the what they were preaching. They were living this preaching, just like now we're living this preaching. And we're glorifying this preaching. We're glorifying this instruction that was instructed 550 years ago. Not just chant amongst any devotees only. No, chant around ecstatic devotees who are where love of God is fructified. I mean, that's what Ishvara Puri did. He went to his guru, was chanting holy name in ecstatic devotion.
Yeah.
And served there and was close there, and he heard that chanting there. And look, he became a pure devotee in that life. It's time for this kind of preaching. Wake up, sleeping souls, because this is the time for it. Yeah, wake up call. Yeah, go ahead there, Lilita.
Okay.
Ooh, pour back today. Ooh.
Seeing those pure devotees of the Lord who rival the sun in brilliance. Everyone present, the performer of the sacrifice, the brahmanas, and even the sacrificial fires stood stood in respect.
See, rival the sun, rival the sun. What do you think? It's just they look like the sun? Well, maybe there's effulgence there, but they rival the sun is a code. See? It's a code because the sun, they're actually better. They're rivals of the sun. In other words, they're actually even better than the sun. Yeah, because the sun doesn't dissipate our ignorance.
No.
You just get a good suntan. That's all. That's all it can do is get a good suntan, give you some vitamin D or something, burn you sometimes. Yeah. But devotees, they can burn away the ignorance, dissipate the ignorance. So they rival the sun. They're brighter than the sun in that way. The conclusive truth is brighter than the sun. It's brighter than speculation. Speculation is weak. It keeps people in illusion, keeps them down. This is why the greatest privilege in the world is to present the Bhagavatam as it is, the confidential conclusion. It is the greatest thing in the world. It's sun-like. It's better. It's brighter than the sun. It dissipates the ignorance in the hearts of others. And that's what we're doing here. Yeah, man, this preaching is a time to dominate even the mode of goodness. It's this preaching will. It shows its supremacy. See, but generally only the sages could see that because they're advanced. But people are not so advanced nowadays. So they're dimmed down by this Kali Yuga. Oh boy, it's really horrible. So anyway, that's it. That's why ultimately, when you're ready to accept pure devotional service, accept devotees empowered by the transcendental Lord, you see the true God rise at the same time as the devotee rises. See, they rise simultaneously. Because without the real empowered servant of the Lord revealing the true nature of the Lord, you wouldn't see either. See, when you hear the glories of the real Supreme Lord that touches your heart deeply like this, and you hear it from a real devotee, you think, oh, this person knows what they're talking about. Wow, I never heard such preaching like this. They say this. So the truth arises of Guru and Krishna simultaneously. Otherwise, you got neither. If you don't have a bona fide, empowered, transcendentally empowered devotee, then whatever they speak is going to be tainted. Therefore, the real Lord doesn't arise. Some speculative creation, inconclusive creation of God arises. Inconclusive. It's not Uttama Sloka. It's not the Uttama Sloka, the ultimate sloka, the ultimate verse. He doesn't arise in such speculation. So neither does the real guru arise nor the real Lord arises. See, Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya arose simultaneously on the horizon of Gomala. See, that's simultaneously. See, the real guru reveals the real Krishna, the real nature of the Father, or your intimate friend. Okay? And that their glories arise automatically. That's why you see people who they hear and they come and accept these kinds of preachings that we have, and they check it. They can see it in the book. They see it in your experience, your testimonies, and they become faithful. See, accepting those glories too. And then the true nature of Guru arises in their heart as well as the Lord. See? And by equal faith in both Guru and Krishna, you see they're together, always together. See? Then you can collect these valuable jewels. See, then you can see, oh wow, this is so valuable. You can relish them with great happiness, like devotees in the Lord do. This is their treasure. Is this? This treasure is this. Your treasure becomes your preaching. You're sharing with the world. You're chanting, just tasting that, right? Eating this feast before the world and getting them spiritually greedy to taste it also. That's it. It's what that dream of Lalita. She says, now I know what I'm here. I'm just here to cry and taste this glory. Hey, effortless, isn't that nice? And powerful, the most powerful. These little demons and demigods are fighting, and it's so weak compared to this way. This way makes everybody happy, makes demons or demigods, if they will come and listen and accept these conclusions and accept this ecstatic happiness. Why do you have to, like control like these demons, they want to control the whole world. They want this artificial immortality when you can have real, and this is immortal stuff. This is, fearless. You can go get over the demons are afraid. They're afraid they're going to do this and that. And the demigods are afraid they're going to lose their positions. This is eternal, where there's no fear. You overcome fear. Well, you're already liberated forever. Everything is gravy here. This is all icing on the cake. Every day is just icing for me, man. I live one more day. It's icing. More icing. So eating cake and icing every day. Why wouldn't anybody? This why this sadhu sangha purifies the whole universe. After a while, people become intelligent. They listen to this and say, "Yeah, why aren't we doing this?" Our wolves. So the thing will say, "Yeah, why aren't we doing this?" Well, it's all ignorance. Ignorance is very weak when it stands before this preaching, this truth, isn't it? It's very weak. It can't sustain. Why wouldn't you want to be happy? This is real happiness here. You can see with your own eyes. Hey man, we're not here to bluff. We're here to show and tell its glories, show its glories, preach it. In in line with the real line, man, as it is, all the way back through the line now. Liberate anybody. You do believe in this preaching, you can you're free of all this speculative gurus, even. All these persons, they, oh, they're so great and everything. Hey man, you're free of that. I'm free of that. That's why I demonstrate. I poo-poo it all. Hey man, it's nothing compared to this. Why not take this? Well, aren't you afraid you're committing an offense? No, what offense? I'm taking the fences down.
Nation constantly.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to show you, hey man, the Lord's very happy with it. Prabhupada's very happy with taking the fences down. Why wouldn't he?
Oh yeah.
Why does he want people to have speculative gurus forever? Or gurus who haven't attained Vrindavan? It doesn't make sense. If you're Krishna conscious, are you Krishna conscious? Are you conscious of the real Krishna? And you better have the ecstatic tears, because that is the only way to become conscious. All these feelings awaken from your spiritual body, awaken. That is Guru now. This other stuff, it's time to, you can let go of that. Don't you? Anybody, if you're here, if you really want Krishna, you can get Krishna, but you got to follow the real Bhagavatam that we're preaching. The wives of the Brahmins left their gurus, man. Their husbands were their gurus, the Brahmins, because they were adverse to this preaching of intimate devotees, the cowherd boys. They had cowherd boys known to have intimate relationship with the Lord. They had the signs and symptoms, just like the devotees here do. They left and what? They were glorified. I'm preaching that, man. It's time for that preaching. It's time for the real Bhagavatam. If this penetrates your heart, you're free. If you have faith in this word, I'm just telling you the Bhagavatam. They're not. They're lying to you. They can't help it. Nothing against them. They can't help. They're liars. You know,
It's impossible.
if you haven't realized Krishna in ecstasy, you're just naturally a liar. You can't help it. I had one of the biggest gurus. You guys, oh, he's so great and everything. He told one of my disciples, he said, Gohari is not a liberated soul. He has not got the real ecstasy. He lied to you. He lied to my disciple. Still believes it, and therefore she's in jail. See? Because she believed that word and not this word and this experience. I'm telling you now, we're down to the wire. The real Bhagavatam will liberate you, but you got to hear it preached as it is, and you are. You take shelter of this word. You can check what I said. Those wives of the Brahmins were eternally liberated. They went to the cowherd boys. You do that, and then you'll come back with love of God and liberate your gurus. Liberate all those guys. Liberate even Acharya Dave. He ain't liberated yet. Aren't you afraid to say no? Not at all. Why? It's true. I love you, man. You're not liberated. Let's see some tears come from his eye. Let's see some ecstatic. Let's see some Lalita Ganga coming out. You got to be at least like her if you're going to be a real Acharya Dave, right? I mean, does that make sense to anybody? Or are you still afraid? In fear? Hey, man, we need to be logical and clear about what an offense is. Offense to pure devotees. See? If you know what pure devotees are, like I wouldn't be offensive to look at the Lord is living in Lalita Ganga. And look at River. The Lord is living inside. My job now is to honor them, kiss their feet, give them a good foot massage. Yeah. Why should I be offensive to these persons? I can see my Lord is living there. I don't see my Lord living in any of those gurus, not even one of them. I looked. Have you looked? You know how you can now you have perspective. The world has a perspective. You can look at one of my disciples, Lalita Ganga there, or a river. You could see God is living in them. And the Bible tells you so. The Vedas tell you so. And I tell you so. And they tell you so. So it's a fact. Now, you guys are in question out there in ISKCON and Gaudiya Math, Gaudiya Smriti. All we see are no shows. Let's see the greatest show on earth, because that's what you'll do if you have the Lord living inside you and expressing in this world. Full expression of God in this world. Now, doesn't that even sound better? Right there, Karuna? Doesn't that sound better? Full expression of Radha and Krishna in this world. I ain't going to kiss those feet yet. They ain't worthy. Not yet. I'm not convinced yet. Yeah, you kiss your own feet. There you go.
Wow. I can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, Lalita. That was good.
My dear king, seeing those pure devotees, oh, I read it already. Okay. King Videha, Nihmi, he understood that the 9 sages were exalted devotees. exalted devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore overjoyed at their auspicious arrival, he offered them suitable sitting places and he worshipped them in a proper way, just as one would worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Overwhelmed by transcendental joy.
See, the Lord is pleased when he sees his devotees are being glorified because you're actually glorifying the Lord. He's in their bodies, man. Awaken. Why wouldn't he be happy? He's more happy. Oh, you've seen where I'm actually in. This is why it says, Krishna taught, he says, saints of your caliber, which are ecstatic devotees, relishing the glories of ecstatic devotion, saints of your caliber, Akura, which he was like that, and Uddhava, which he was like that, are virtual places of pilgrimage. Why? Because the Lord is living intimately in them and awakened in them and expressing in them. Okay? That's my deities purify after a long time, and the taking baths and ganja purifies you, but after a long time. But you purify just by being seen, much less heard from. Why? Because they preach the real glories to you. Do you hear the Ganga preaching to you? Do you hear the deity? They're deity. Where's the preaching? See? Oh, God is in the deity, but he's not talking much, right? Oh, but if the Lord is in the devotee, Radha and Krishna are there living in that temple. These are temples, man. And then they speak through that devotee because that's their relationship. You know, they inform the devotee how to go back to Godhead because of their loving devotional service, ecstatic devotional service. And you listen to them, you're going to get the real deal. You're going to get the real conclusion. Well, if they're given it, not just throwing a bunch of the rule book at you to get you going because you're like, these guys like Wolf, Not putting him down. It's just he's he's good for the preaching. That's his service here. How are you going to, get any service out of a guy like that? You got to use them somehow so that they can advance. And that we can advance too. We need a guy like Wolf. Thank you, Mr. Wolf. Tag him in here. He can listen to this preaching. He'll be like, bewildered by it, but it'll be good, beneficial. So thank you for your service, man. It's good. We need a perspective like you. Give us perspective on what is real and what is unreal. Go ahead there, Lolita.
Yeah, you've really got to be born again.
Yeah.
Lord, to discover your Lord yourself, to be able to preach. How can you preach if you don't know anything yourself? If I never met him, how can you talk about him?
This is one thing about the Christians. They, when they say born again, born again, born again, intelligent people think, what is this? It's stupid. It sounds dumb, born again. See, people, they need to be more clear. Spiritually awakened. Awaken your spiritual body. See, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
But it's like a born again. I mean, I like that word, born again. But a lot of people, yeah. It just clarifies it, a little bit. It's like, spiritually awakened. And I think if intelligent people can relate to that. Like, oh, spiritually, I can roll with that. And that's what it is. Your spiritual body is awakened. Lord Chaitanya taught like that. Spiritual body, awaken it. See, so that it can perceive transcendental vibrations. If anybody here, even you wonder, well, why is Lolita doing this, or these devotees? Well, their spiritual body is awakened, and that's what it's all about. That's why this association is tremendously valuable. Not to go for this association when it's here and awakened, and you can see it. is to be to miss a great opportunity. Because most Vaishnavas, as far as I see the symptoms, they're not awakened. They're just in this. They're going through the motions, and the spirit hasn't been infused in them, awakened in them yet, arisen. Okay? And therefore, it's mundane still material. Regulative devotional service. You're just kind of forcing yourself by force. It's here we just practice devotional service and the spirit takes over, and gives great happiness because the spirit is given to us and will remain with us forever. As long as you don't slip on the floor. See, this is the floor here. This is the foundation. Some people slip. You notice? They slip. Christina slipped on the floor, on the foundation. So she's on her can right now. And others like her. That's all. They're sitting on can you imagine? Uh, you know, I think blocked many devotees here already. Can you imagine? You just blocked yourself from the most valuable association that goes for Meena, Mahavirya, my ex-wife, all of you guys. It's time for you to hear the birds and the bees, if you're lucky to hear this. Otherwise, you're going to die in illusions. We're not. Are we dying in illusion? We're living in truth, man. Living in ecstasy here every friggin' day, getting more and more and more, and they're dying in illusions. I ain't ashamed to tell them that. Why not? Be good to tell them the truth. Maybe they'll listen. Get off their fanny. Get up. Yeah. Tell these gurus, hey man, get with the real program. We're with the real program of Lord Chaitanya. By you, the guru you're worshiping, he told me to do this, and this is a very important instruction. The most important instruction. Give prema, teach the real Bhagavatam to people and awaken their spiritual body so they can worship God in ecstasy. But isn't that why Lord Chaitanya came? Didn't he come to give this ecstatic worship? That's what I hear in that book. Lord Chaitanya said Krishna thought all the world is worshiping like these gurus are and their followers. All the world, just how it is. He's saying all the world, let's make it practical. All the world's worshiping like these gurus and these followers. Your pious, doing, regulative devotion. All the world's doing that, but that doesn't satisfy me. Is that bad that I just say what the Lord said? It doesn't satisfy him. Why not announce it now? That's all I'm doing. Announce, hey man, he even said he didn't satisfy him. Why do you keep doing it when this is available? This satisfies the Lord. Can you tell? Look at Lalita Ganga's chanting. Look at River's chanting. Can you tell this satisfies the Lord more than that? Can you tell these are living verses here? Living examples of those verses? Can you tell? I just love the logic Krishna gives me. Isn't it amazing? Just makes it like so a matter of fact.
Krishna is very logic.
Yeah, I'm
They
amazed.
make it so difficult, but he's very logic.
Yeah. See, Uttamadikari, the energy Uttamadikari, you get this thing, you can explain things of the truths, even convincingly. I mean, somebody's going to be you. Some of you are convinced already. You're here. Prabhupada convinced people about Vaidhi and why you should take to Vaidhi. Here we're convincing people why you should take to Raghunuga, isn't it? So we up the ante a little bit. So that'll be our success when we can convince 1,000 devotees, at least, minimum 1,000, minimum. Because if we convince 1,000, we'll convince millions. That Raganuga is where to be. This is in vogue now. Go ahead there, Lalita. Read some more.
Okay.
Oh, actually, you know what? Let's let River read a little bit. You want to read a little? She's ready, I think. Go for it, man. Isn't River cool? Isn't she a cool gal, man? She's so fantastic.
Hare Krishna, Lilita, beautiful. What verse was you on? Lilita.
Sorry. I was 26. 26.
Thank you. I offer my respectful obeisances to my wonderful spiritual master, Srila Bhaktivedanta Gaura Haridas, who has awoken the Lord in my heart, showing me the illusion from this truth at every moment. All glories to you, Paramahamsa, Maharaj, Saint, Acharya of this age, the live wire to hold onto to get through this age. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, my spiritual master. All glories to the previous Acharyas. All glories to the 6 Goswamis. All obeisances to you. I offer my respectful obeisances to the Panchatattva. All glories to you, my lords. All glories to you, Shrimati Radharani. All glories to your lotus feet, my friend. All glories to Shri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Lord of Lords, the King of Kings, the devotee of devotees, the yogi of yogis. All glories to your lotus feet. I offer my respectful obeisances to all the intimate devotees and devotees in the the devotees in the Sangha of Srila Bhaktivedanta Gaura Haridas. Oh, okay. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Shri Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhaktavinda. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. All glory to all exalted personalities. Please bear with me to help me with this. There is nothing I do without you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Text 26. King Vidya Nimai. King Vidya Nimai understood that the Niches were exalted devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, overjoyed. Therefore, overjoyed at their auspicious arrival, he offered them suitable sitting places and worshipped them in a proper.
See, the devotees, if you can recognize them, then you'll experience joy, because that's the joy of the Lord. Most people are not purified; they can't recognize pure devotees. The Lord, where they're awakened in their heart. See, but that's where the real joy is in the recognition. See, that's why he's overwhelmed. He recognized them. These are, see, the Lord gives that recognition. If you're fortunate, you'll recognize devotees, real devotees. Yeah. Go ahead. There.
Maharaj, I was talking to a devotee yesterday, and they're not happy with you because of your so-called criticism of ISKCON and the gurus, but they can recognize my ecstasy. They recognize my ecstasy and they glorified my ecstasy, but they're not happy with you at doing. But I was explaining to him that you're pointing out the truth with verses, with it backed up by verses, and so he can see my devotee, but he's not happy with you because of that. And it is it is silly, you know, because the things that they do in ISKCON, you know, I'm not going to do it. Some horrendous stuff that goes on there. You know, he's not willing to talk about that, but he wants to talk about your criticisms and about ISKCON, and it's all true and it's all backed up, and we can, and you've shown us it clearly. But he recognizes my ecstasy, so I'm saying to him, well, I got that from Maharaj, I got that from Srila Gaura Haridas. But they're in that place of not being not being what's the right word? Not being purified enough. They're not purified enough because they're very sensitive. They're a very sensitive devotee, very lovely, confirmed, kind devotee. But in this place that doesn't make sense, they're not seeing the bigger picture. But the fact that he recognized my ecstasy, it was really lovely.
Yeah. No, that's great. Yeah. And it's just, see, the thing is, a lot of these devotees, they're holding on to that association. See? So yeah, he's, they're split, that's good. He's kind of, he's attracted to that, but he's still attracted to that association there, and so maybe by and by, I mean, it's kind of like it cuts that association, and for him it's premature, so I don't know, we'll have to see. Often what I've seen is a lot of people too attached to the ISKCON thing, they just get drawn back in there. So they're just like, okay, they're attracted to the ecstasy, but then they're drawn back to that level. So let's see, it's all, let's see how, if he's, I mean, it's all, this is where the spiritual greed comes in. If he's got greed, he'll come into the, otherwise, if he's, well, I have more faith in what they're teaching. Well, I don't, sorry, it's illusion, man. I'm not interested in illusion. I'm not interested in false acharyas or false spiritual masters. That's why people are protected here. That's why you didn't see the Jesus or the real followers promoting what's false, what's not real, what's not really liberating. If you're taking the position of that's why this stuff is going on. You see, there's popes, and then there's ministers, and a lot of them are not really liberated, and people go to them to get to the kingdom, but they're a thorn in the side of that. They can't move on. And so I'm not here to promote that. I'm here to say, hey, here's the door, and that's not the door. Otherwise, you think, oh, it's both the door. Well, if you're a neophyte, well, it's both the door. Well, okay, fine, but the door is the door, and to the kingdom to quickly get in, and the other is a long journey, a lot of troubles. This here, there are less troubles. Yeah. So anyway, and you can just tell them to hang out with you and don't watch my preaching right now. Yeah, just listen to you. Listen to
the thing is,
tell them I'm a bit of a sourpuss. What do you? My guru's a bit of a sourpuss.
He's because it's done by his own endeavor, kind of. He doesn't see the bigger picture, but he recognizes stuff. He recognizes some similarities that we do here with the scriptures as well. So he's in that place of needing to really watch you on a regular basis and watch the whole class, and not just go in and watch that bit where he needs to be purified. So he needs to hear those things, those truths of ISKCON and the gurus and what they do, because he's had experience, the not very nice experiences with ISKCON, the gurus in ISKCON, so he kind of understands. But it's so clear that your purification, you're pointing out the truth. What goes on there is actually purification for him, because he needs it. He really needs it because of the way he is. So he needs to, take the challenge. And another devotee, Maharaj, Mathura Das, he comes to Lalita's class And he was speaking to him as well, and he recognizing our our ecstasy as well, and hopefully he'll join us later. He can come here
Yeah,
later.
I think he's comes to our classes too here.
Yeah, okay.
I've been talking to him actually.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was in the Narayan Raj Sangha or something, or no, I don't know. He was with somebody. Oh yeah, some bhakti pod or something.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah.
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 Okay, Maharaj. Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Therefore, overjoyed at their auspicious arrival, he offered them suitable sitting places and worshipped them in a proper way, just as one would worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Overwhelmed, overwhelmed by transcendental joy, the king humbly bowed his head and then proceeded to question the 9 sages. These 9 great souls glowed with their own effulgence, and thus appeared equal to the 4 Kumaras, the sons of Lord Brahma. Overwhelmed by transcendental joy, the king humbly bowed his head and then proceeded to question the 9 sages. These 9 great souls glowed with their own effulgence, and thus appeared equal to the 4 Kumaras, the sons of Lord Brahma. King Vidya said, I think that you must be direct associates of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is famous as the enemy of the demon Madhu. Indeed, the pure devotees of Lord Vishnu
You
wander
know,
throughout.
I was just thinking of, like people say, you criticizing ISKCON, right? I'm criticizing ISKCON, they say. But this is why Prabhupada said this preaching of Chaitanya Leela is this preaching of Chaitanya Leela is postgraduate, because all I'm doing is distinguishing what is pure devotional service, which is the path. It's the light, man. It's time on the order Prabhupada distinguish pure devotional service from other things. I mean, could you imagine what he's saying like this? Oh, well, your criticism, what I'm just pointing out, that's not pure devotional service. And what is? I mean, I'm pointing out what Lord Chaitanya pointed out. Lord Chaitanya quoted these verses about pure devotional service. He said, even a Brahmin that's perfect in all Brahminical qualifications, but is not engaged in pure devotional service, their qualifications are just like ornaments on a dead body. Now that's pretty telling things like it is. That's what I'm saying. This is just ornaments on a dead body. These things, it's empty still. It needs to be filled with the liquid of pure devotional service. So people have to come into this association and get purified of their misconceptions. Otherwise, they stay where they are and they think, oh well, that's pure devotional service, but it's not. Why? You gotta. The actual real guru does what it says in chapter 1 of Bhadi Lila. They tell you what is unfavorable for pure devotional service. See, what association is unfavorable, and that is unfavorable. It's not favorable unless you're going there to preach or something. But if you're just going there to take association from these gurus and everything, who, basically proven they're still mundane. I mean, I see, I was listening to this devotee. They're nice, sincere sometimes. Yeah, sincere devotee. But he was talking, oops, and just completely mundane. It was what he was initiated by Prabhupada and everything, sincere and serving, but no life in them. All because they don't know about this and they believe their life is life. It's not. I mean, we're here preaching the Lord, the next phase. People, they got to at least get the opportunity and know what real life is, and that they're not in the real life. And the glories of this ecstatic chanting, it is more glorious than any of this kind of worship out there. Otherwise, they die without it, and we'll just at least give them an opportunity, right? Give them an
Show them
opportunity.
the way.
Yeah, show them
Show
show them the way. That means it's two sides. This is the way. That's not simple. That's not the way. If you have the greed to get into the kingdom in this life, you can get in, or you'll make tremendous progress, like thousands of times more advancement than snailing around in that kind of association with motivated religionists, gurus who are they're not really representing Vrindavan. I mean, isn't that the point? Isn't that the point of Krishna consciousness, to represent Vrindavan? To actually bring people into Vrindavan because you're an example of a Vrindavan resident with the right information and understanding and ecstasy and bhav. Isn't that the point? Or am I missing the point? Am I missing the point? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the Lord has given me this understanding, and it's right there in the book. And I got the order of Prabhupada. Why should I withhold it? Why shouldn't I just go with gangbusters, and just, if it pisses, it's like Lord Chaitanya told Nityananda, come on, he was walking around like a peaceful sage. I've done that before. I know what that's like. Nobody benefits. They just kind of sit there and look at you, and they just continue on. And Lord Chaitanya said, if you don't act a little more wild in this world, how are we going to accomplish our mission? Okay? You're a result of this wildness. This is a result of being a little more wild in this world and pissing a few people off. Not doing what they want, well, I think you should be like this. Hey, man, I didn't come here to take association. I came here to give it. You guys are the ones who need it. That guy needs it. He's attracted to your ecstasy. Well, hey, man, you don't try to control Guru. That's the whole problem. You're fighting with Guru just by saying that. He's saying, well, the ecstasy is really great, but I want to control Guru. Well, that ain't going to happen.
I want the guru like this and this and this and this.
Yeah. I like your ecstasy, but I don't want to accept his preaching. Well, fuck you. Go accept somebody the preaching you. Who the hell are you? You like the ecstasy, but you don't want to accept the preaching. Well, up yours, man.
We have this ecstasy because of this preaching.
With Lalita's finger there. Up yours with her finger. She did it. Go ahead. I just wanted to throw that in to get a little spice here.
Oh, you wanted to throw fuck you in?
Tell him I said that. Quote me on that.
Oh, Mara.
You want the... Oh, no, that's okay. No, you...
Well, you did. You did actually say...
No. Be nice. Keep him on the hook a little bit. Let's see if he...
Yeah, I know. He's very sensitive, apparently.
Oh, yeah. Sensitive.
Yeah.
He's like Karuna, right? Sensitive.
I have had so many talks like this over the last 3 years. So many talks.
Yeah.
It's always the same situation.
Go ahead, River, read some more.
Okay. So I'll start this verse again. King Vidha said, I think you must be direct associates of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is famous as the enemy of the demon Madhu. Indeed, the pure devotees of the Lord Vishnu wander throughout the universe, not for their personal selfish interest, but to purify for the conditioned souls.
Yeah, the conditioned souls, the souls in this world, they don't have this knowledge. Isn't that amazing? We do now. Not only do we have this knowledge, we have this ecstasy. And the whole world needs it. Everybody could benefit from this.
Yes.
See, they just wander. We wander. I wander, man. Just wander. What benefit, man? This place is boring. The only thing good about it is you got a nice pool to cool down when it gets too hot, and got this thing where you can go down on Synchrotron now, and good internet. Well, the internet connection's not. It's good now. I'm using this, but it'll probably be good to later. Yeah, but got facility. That's the only thing good about it, to wake people up, man. What else is this material universe full of false ego? Everybody's identifying, wanting to be important and all these things. And that's not a devotee. The Lord has given many of us the inclination to glorify the truth and to acknowledge the truth and not want acknowledgement. But to the glories of happiness of glorifying God, is so amazing, so powerful, so perfect. Why do you want to associate and be amongst people that are it's all about me and my life and my happiness and my goals? The whole world is fucking like that. All about me and mine, and they make me boring. Oh my God, it's so fucking boring. Gee whiz, man. This is life, man. That's the only happiness of a devotee, to be in this material universe, is to go around and preach the truth and the glory, the happiness of that. There's happiness in this. To go out there and boldly preach and chant Hare Krishna with ecstasy right in front of the face of everybody. All these, people that are like, they're just blind, and this starts to wake people up. Yeah.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go for it, man. Let's hear.
I was one of those assholes a few weeks ago. I noticed everything I said to Yamuna started with I, or me, or I. Every sentence started with I feel. What a trip. I would catch myself and say, how can you stand listening to me, talking about me all the time? And she goes, I'm just letting you spit it out. And I just realized how self-absorbed, how selfish, but not the false self. So then I just said, fuck it. Let me just try and serve an acharya and see what happens.
Ooh. It works. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Get you out of your selfishness.
I was just saying that to you, Rach.
I might slip back into me, but at least I know now the trick.
Yeah,
to get out of the me, to serve the you.
Yeah. Because you're just serving the mission, man. You serve here, serving the mission, getting people to, I mean, it's so nice. It's so free. Getting out of this. Oh yeah, mute your mic there because it reverberates. Yeah, it's so freeing to be in the truth. It's just nothing like it. It's amazing. It's amazing. So it just, anyway, that's our work here. This is our sadhu sangha. This is our joyful service to humanity, you know. And at this time, it's amazing. For this to happen at this time is a miracle. It shows you this is part of the past time, because every significant thing that has happened has been at a time like this. Yeah. Go ahead there, River. Read some more.
For the conditioned souls, the human body is most difficult to achieve. For the conditioned souls, the human body is most difficult to achieve, and it can be lost at any moment. But I think that even those who have achieved human life really gain the association of pure devotees who are dear to the Lord of Vaikuntha.
Yeah, you see, look at that. Rarely gain. And even if you brush against them, how many people recognize? How many people recognize the glories of the pure devotional service being done in this Sangha? So few. See, so they can't gain it because they just don't understand it. You know, they don't value it. They don't see its value. Well, that's the idea of testifying. That's my testimony is mine. Yours is yours. You know, as we advance on this path and realize its glories and share those glories with others, then it starts to awaken in people. Otherwise, because everybody's sharing the glories of sharing the glories of their false ego, their false glories of it's all. You ever see these people on Facebook? Oh, me, I, and people listen. Thousands. Lady people sharing their misery for hours. One lady, and they got thousands of people live watching. I'm amazed. Unbelievable, you know? Thousands of people. Oh, your misery. I want to hear about it. And here we're sharing our joy, our transcendental happiness, the glories of the true Lord that'll make people eternal and everything. We got what? 6 people. And these people sharing miseries and all. Talk about illusion. Talk about being in a friggin' prison house. My God. And people don't know the glories of how to get out of it. See, very rare to get such association. People very rarely even want this. So anyway, you see, at least we got so many coming now. I mean, you know, people, you know, getting some shelter here, and it's getting stronger. You notice we're building a house. You know, Noah built an ark. We're building an ark here, man. This is a stronger one. Yeah, there he got people's bodies and saved the bodies. We're saving the souls, man, awakening souls, building their spiritual bodies up, making them strong. Yeah. So they'll start to wake up more and more, realize, look at these guys. They're not even talking about themselves. All they do is talk about Krishna and Krishna's glories, and look how happy they are. Well, that's the secret. Duh. You know, come here, awaken your spiritual body, and you will love doing this too. And you, Mr. Billy Boy Gates and Mr. Acharya Daves, you come here, will make you really immortal. This is immortalizing. Then you'll become a real guru. People will remember. Otherwise, they're all going to be forgotten. All of these guys will be forgotten. Prahlad, we don't forget, do we? Prabhupada, we won't forget. These other ones, you all forget. Because you know why? Because ultimately it's God that remembers in us. His devotees are eternal. These words will be remembered. Why? Because they're real, right? Pure devotional service. Why shouldn't they be remembered? The words you guys speak because you listen. So look at you guys. Look at River and look at Lalita. Look how they listen there, Karuna. See? They hear really well. They will speak well, transcendently well, and their words will be remembered also. Why? Because the Lord only remembers his devotees' words. And when we get on the same page with the Lord, we'll be happy like the Lord is happy. Extraordinarily happy. And you know, the best thing is you won't be polluted if you cuss. If you say the F word, you won't get polluted. As a matter of fact, you'll purify others who hear it because they'll go, ah, ooh, ah, a pure devotee never say. There you go. Purification already. Ask Janaki. Go ahead, the
Therefore, O completely sinless ones, I ask you to kindly tell me what the supreme
completely
good.
sinless ones. I like that.
Go for a cup of coffee.
Completely sinless ones.
Finish the cup.
See, there you go. See, pure devotees are like that. You know why? Because they're perfect materially, externally, and they wear a clean dhoti and they got the rubber stamp. They're completely sinless. No. Can you chant the holy name in ecstasy? That's sinless. Very practical. That means why are you even thinking about sin? Because you're so happy, so ecstatic, chanting, and so close to God. How can you even, it doesn't even, it's totally irrelevant. When God is living in your heart, with Radha and Krishna are in your heart, and you're transcendentally happy, what is there even a question of sin? Who the hell cares? It's irrelevant. Karma, talks of karma, the good karma, bad. Who can even think about that except the love of Radha and Krishna and relishing the happiness of that and joyfully glorifying the absolute truth? And everybody's still worried about sin. I don't even think about it. Worried about sin? When I have Radha and Krishna dancing in my heart every day, it's totally irrelevant. Didn't you hear the Ajamil story? Ajamil, he was chanting Nam Bas, doesn't even hold a candle to the kind of chanting you see going on in this Sangha. And the Vishnu Dutas came and said, oh, millions of sins from millions of life have been destroyed by his Namabas. It wasn't even ecstatic chanting like you see here. He was calling for his son. But Namabas was that strong, and you don't think is there a wonder why I don't get into this is sinful and this is why? As long as I can chant the holy name in ecstatic devotion and cry and laugh, that's all. That's what's relevant. Everything else is irrelevant in this world. Pious, impious. I don't even think about these things. Is it pious to cuss or not to cuss? But this is irrelevant. If the word fuck you comes out of there, what's that to me? Radha and Krishna's dancing in my heart. If it bothers you right now when you heard it, hey man, you must be getting purified. I guess. I don't know. It's irrelevant. So what's the big deal? It's just a word. Yeah. If it's chanted by those where Radha and Krishna is dancing in their hearts, it's got to be good. Everything's absolute at that point. Absolute, isn't it? This is absolute. You know, Nietzsche, could you imagine? Here's the relevance. 550 years ago, there was Nityananda and Advaita. They were cursing using the F words in Bengali, whatever they are. I'll just tell you, this fucking Nityananda, he's a fucker, man. He goes and eats anywhere he wants. You know? He doesn't follow any fucking rules. So the Dvaita. Now, would you go against Advaita thinking because he's cursing? And then Nityananda will curse him back. Oh, this fucking Advaita, he's a rule stickler, rule follower, man. Doesn't know what real bhakti is. Who the hell wants to listen to him? And they go back and forth like that. Would you think, this is great? These guys are not devotees. They're in the mode of ignorance. No, just by the fact that the Lord is in their hearts, if you have faith in that, then now you've passed the test and you're going to get the greatest benediction from the Lord because you see what's really the truth behind it. Isn't that the test that Lord Chaitanya said to Srivas? He comes to Srivas and says, you should throw that Nityananda out. You don't know who he is, where he's come from. He doesn't follow any rules. Everybody's criticized. You're going to lose your caste. They're going to think you're bad association. Get rid of that guy. And Lord Srivas said, don't test me. Lord, hey, man, you're in him, man. You're living inside Nityananda. I can see the symptoms. He's ecstatic, man. He's laughing and crying, just like Lalita Ganga there. Don't test me. I will never give up the association of Nityananda. I don't care if he goes into a bar and drinks alcohol. He said that. It's right there in the book. I don't care if he curses pure devotees. He can do whatever he wants because you're still in. I see you stay there in him. Okay? That's what you should evaluate all persons here. Is the Lord staying in them? Because if he is, why shouldn't you accept if the Lord accepts? People don't know these things. Where have you heard this preaching? It's never been revealed before. Never! Bhaktisiddhanta didn't reveal this. Prabhupada didn't. But we are on their mercy, right? See, progressive. Hey, it's not about. It's just ecstatic inspiration. That's why these verses, you got to show that you're these verses, man. You got to show that people out there, you got to admit that the verses point you out. Not even the greatest scholars can understand the mind, the mentality, or the plans, or the ecstasy of a devotee absorbed in love of God. You can't understand what's going on unless they explain it to you. Like now. And reveal it. Otherwise, it's like, oh, why is he doing that? Oh, I like that ecstasy and river. But Gohari should preach like I think. He should be like, who the hell are you? That's why she's got the ecstasy and you don't. Oh, I really like what you're doing, Gohari. Yeah, but you should do it like this. You know how many people try to control Guru? It doesn't happen that, you're going to just wash out. See? Go ahead, River.
After all, even half a moment's association with a pure devotee within this world of birth and death is a priceless treasure for any man.
You know, why is it a priceless treasure? Is it people don't know these verses? It's a priceless treasure because of your examples. You're showing the priceless treasure by your own examples, by your own having that association and the result of it.
Okay.
People have to see the priceless treasure because of the jewel that you are and have become. They show this is and when people, they praise and accept the pure devotional service that you are personifications of here, many of you now. And they accept it, then they get it also. See, you become the Lord Chaitanya's jewels, crest jewels here in the world. It's like Haridas, chanted in ecstasy, and when he passed from the body, gave up his body willingly, the Lord says, now the world has lost a great jewel. That's the Lord's devotees. That's the devotees in this Sangha. And until people can see that, they're contaminated still. Therefore, associate more. Hey man, you got any greed? Can you see? Are you ready to do some processing? Can you handle your process? Or are you just a real neophyte and you just, you can't deal with that, you think you know all about bhakti. Can you imagine? I can't believe people still think, after 50 years of Prabhupada, that wolf still thinks he knows all about bhakti and all about the real path. And this is going on right in front of his face. Talk about blind. And people listen to people like that are blind leading the blind. Isn't that notice? Well, what's my fault here? All I'm trying to do is get the attention of one of these gurus, just one. What's the big deal? I just want to get one guy to come look over here so we can have a discussion or something, so that he can be liberated a little bit and maybe his disciples too. What's the fault in that? What else we got to do in this world? We just need to get the attention of people, right? Otherwise, well, who's got their attention? Maya's always doing it. Why shouldn't we do it a little bit? Right? Maya's always saying, oh, look at me, look at her, let me hear my miseries, so you could be miserable too. Why shouldn't we say, hear our happiness, come and associate with our happiness, see our happiness? Why shouldn't we do a little attention getting here for Krishna's benefit and for the world's benefit? See, it's a war, man. Maya's trying to get everybody's attention. False gurus up there, they ain't got any jewels to give. Here we got all the jewels, but people think, let's go to the colored glass. They don't know the difference. We say, hey, man, the jewels are here. Let us show you the intelligence we get from ecstatic worship, just like the book teaches. The real path are with the ecstatic devotees. And no ecstasy, no real path. Wasn't Lord Chaitanya ecstatic when he came here? Weren't his devotees ecstatic? And what happened? People got love of God. Well, where is the ecstasy? Where is the conclusive preaching on the level of Chaitanya Leela? I think only here. I think everybody's going in wrong directions. Is this making sense to anybody? Making sense to me, After a while, I think, boy, I get more and more confidence I'm in the right place. Go ahead there, River. Read some more. Oops. Sorry, I accidentally hit the wrong button. Oops. Go ahead there, River.
Please speak about how one engages in the devotional service of the Supreme Lord. If you consider me capable of properly hearing these topics, please speak about how one engages in the devotional service of the Supreme Lord.
See, only the devotees know that. See, only the devotees know how to properly engage in pure devotional service. You got to have real devotion, my friends. And that devotion is ecstatic, and it's very blissful to the furthest extent, and gets more and more blissful. And only those know these confidential truths. So why are you going anywhere else? Why not go to devotees of that stature that are ecstatic and knowledgeable because of their intimacy with God? Why go anywhere else? Make your gurus prove that they have intimate relationship with God. Why not? That's a little different. It's cutting edge, huh? Nobody should even speak like that, right? Well, not if you're in the box, you can't. Devotees are outside of the box, man. They don't think in the box. You're all boxed up. Who likes to be boxed up? Don't you want to be free? Think outside of the box, man. Make your gurus show that they actually represent Vrindavan and Radha and Krishna, that Radha and Krishna are in there. This is the temple, primary temple, man. Weren't these devotees temples, moving temples in the world? Temples of the truth. What you're hearing now is preaching like that and more, actually, because Lord Chaitanya came as a recent incarnation. This fantastic, man. Go ahead there, Lolita. What?
Sorry, Sim always asks nice questions. He said, if Chaitanya is the example, then everyone can come to Krishna in ecstatic devotion, even without this specific sangha. So, but my answer is, why don't you see this ecstasy in other sanghas? Why don't you see it in ISKCON? Why do you only see it here?
Yeah. Well, that's a good example, actually, of showing okay, this is a little deeper into understanding that. Okay, he's saying, yeah, Lord Chaitanya's the example of that. But you see, he got it from his guru, didn't he? He showed that example. Of course, he had it, but he showed the example. He showed the example. He went not just to any guru. He didn't go to Ramachandra Puri, who was like these gurus. A lot of them want to teach Prabhupada, and they change his books and all that. That's just a show that Krishna's showing. You see, they want to teach Prabhupada. Okay, no, he didn't go to that kind of guru. He went to an ecstatic guru, person who had love of God, Ishvar Puri. See? And then he became ecstatic. And then, yeah, an ecstatic devotee can go alone and do it. But you got to get it from the guru if you don't already have it. See? And that's why you said rightly, where do you see it? Well, they're not getting it from their gurus. Their gurus don't really have it. They're lying to them. It's a big friggin' lie. They think they don't even talk about it. They have to have a checklist, something different than the real standard. The real standard is to chant the holy name with great ecstatic devotion. That is the teaching of Chaitanya Charitamrita. If you want to go to Vrindavan, are you ready for this preaching? If you're not, you won't accept it. But it's right there in the book. We're here to take people to Vrindavan now. It's postgraduate time. Who's ready? That's simple. Yeah, so we're teaching the real process. You get this from the guru, like Lord Chaitanya said, by his example, showed by example. He got it from his guru. And then he passed it on to the world, whoever accepted his association and his preaching. He went to South India preaching just like this. He would go into a town and he would laugh and cry in ecstasy, chanting the holy name like this. And then people would ask, oh, what is this about? What are you doing? We've never seen this before. And then he preaches cult of bhakti like this. Exactly like this, actually. Why? Because the Lord preached then, he's preaching now. I can't claim fame of these words are mine. These are the Lord's words. Check it in the book. You guys check it if you don't believe. Out there. Mr. Sensitive, you check it in the book. See if Nityananda even cussed in Advaita. Why shouldn't I cuss if they cussed? I wasn't like Lord Chaitanya per se. He was more, cheating the sannyasis and the Brahmins by pretending to be following rules and regulations. And Nityananda and Advaita, he just to the wind. Yeah, I gotta do my job. I gotta be, like to fit somewhere. You can say, oh well, Gaurahari cusses because Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya, or Nityananda and Advaita, they were, doing some of that. I'm sure the devotees, their followers, did also. Whatever they did, their followers did. I like that Nityananda style. That's why I chant his name. I feel he's my Lord, man. He's my example. If he cussed, I'm going to cuss. What is this? I have to restrain. I'm not here. He was told to unrestrictedly preach Vrindavan. I was told the same order. I got the same order from Prabhupada. What does it mean? Your activities have my full approval. You do exactly what you're doing. Exactly what I want you to do. I was doing this. So I got the same instruction Lord Chaitanya gave to Nityananda and Advaita, and they did, and I do. And look at the glory. So it gets more glorious every day, doesn't it? More exciting, more ecstatic. We're going to show the Vaishnavas it's the greatest show on earth. Yeah, you may not agree with it right away, but you will. Why not? Express, devotional service is meant to bring the spiritual world, which is full of the expressions like you see in the material world, but here in this world, it's spiritual, all spiritual lies, anger, envy, jealousies, humbleness, chivalry. All those things you see here in this world are there also. But when they're done by devotees, they're special. They liberate you. They cuss here, right? Well, they also probably cuss there. Otherwise, why did they demonstrate this here? Nityananda and Lord. Yeah, because it's all, it's all, whatever you see here is there, but there, brought here, is all spiritualizing, all purifying. That's why, you remember when I said the cuss word, the 4-letter word, I first introduced it, and Janaki heard it. She went, "Bah!" For 3 days or something, she was processing, and then came back. So it was important. All these things are important. Otherwise, people have a preconception with devotional service. We got to bust that mold. It's a mold, man. You're stuck in a mold, or you want to be compressed moldy. You get moldy in a mold. Here, look at this freedom. Spontaneous expression, freedom. Free, but what are we? Are we free on our own? No, we're free in Krishna, free in his truths, free in the conceptions. Am I not teaching from these conceptions? See? That's why, the thing is, a lot of people think, oh, what Gaurahari did is wrong. Oh, I don't like this. Hey, you're getting purified. See, you're fighting with the truth. I'm just telling you what's in the book. You can all check it. See, therefore you could see, oh, I see, my ignorance is being dissipated. I'm getting more out of the box. I've been boxed up by these false teachings, unclear teachings, speculative teachings from teachers. I've been believing that, and that's going now. Get rid of it. You're just forced to here. Not forced. It's like, hey, man, either you get rid of it or you go away with it. So it's up to people's choice. Do you want it to go, or do you want to go with it and go out there and go hard? I don't agree with this preaching. Huh. Well, go ahead, River.
You're muted, River.
Oh, sorry. If you consider me capable of properly hearing these topics, when a living entity offers loving service to the Supreme Lord, the Lord is immediately satisfied. Is immediately satisfied.
This is the satisfaction. This is what people need to learn. This is the satisfaction. When you chant the holy name and you become ecstatic. When you chant these verses that glorify the Lord, you become ecstatic. Sometimes you laugh, sometimes you cry. Jogi, this is the happiness of God. He's so happy with you. And you feel it. You see, isn't it? It's like, oh, you feel, yeah, this is so satisfying. Well, yeah, it is, of course. The Lord's showing you the ultimate satisfaction. This is what we're here to demonstrate. What is the ultimate satisfaction in this world? Is this. People, you want to know the experts? They have this satisfaction. These are the people you should listen to, the devotees who chant like this, and they laugh, they cry when they relish the verses, like the Lord Chaitanya taught. He taught just like this. He would chant and chant the verses or chant the name or talk to people in ecstasy. Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
And in return, he will give even his own self to the surrendered soul.
See, there you go. What does that mean? How does that show up? Nobody knows. You know here. See? They give your own self. Well, what is that? CP, you need to ask a question. What is his own self? What does that mean? Nobody can ask the question, so I'll ask it for you guys out there.
Ecstasy.
You
It's
have
his
to,
ecstasy.
huh? What?
It's his ecstasy.
Yeah, that's his self, man. He's ecstatic, isn't he? Blissful Lord. The Uttama Sloka is the ultimate realization. The ultimate sloka, a verse, is God is ecstatic. He laughs, he cries, he relishes all kinds of great mellows. See, confirmed. Ah, we don't need the Vedas. We got her machine here. Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Srila Narada said, "O Vasudev, when Maharaj Nimai had thus inquired from the 9 Gendras,
Yeah, it's Nimi, Maharaj Nimi.
Maharaj Nimi. Sri Narada said, O Vasudev, when Maharaj Nimi had thus inquired from the 9 Yogendras about devotional service to the Lord, those best of saintly persons sincerely thanked the king for his question and spoke to him with affection in the presence and spoke to him with affection in the presence of the members of the sacrificial assembly and the Brahmana
Could you
priests.
imagine becoming addicted to pleasing God? Can you imagine that? And that's what's going on here. We're all becoming addicted to pleasing God. See? Everybody else is addicted in the world to sense enjoyment. Look at the result, the different result of that. We're addicted to pleasing God, and we start laughing and crying and relishing these devotional mellows. And the world is addicted to pleasing their self senses. See? It's actually it's really God they're doing, but it's gross, literally gross sense gratification. See? So, and the result is different. See, here is this happiness. It's amazing. Look what Chichen wants to give us. It's not that we have to neglect the sense enjoyment of the world. We got to have some of that, and the body needs it. I know I need it. I need to, eat something and drink something. And so, yeah. And then we have this on the other hand too. It's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, if you're going to be in this world, you're going to have some sense gratification. Otherwise you'll die. And you can't help but enjoy it, especially if it's good. Actually, Lord, for the renunciates, the Lord would teach. He says, for those who took sannyasa, he says, well, don't eat an enjoyable meal. That's not good for your your renunciation. Yeah, go ahead there, River.
Okay. Sri Kavai said, I consider one whose intelligence is constantly disturbed by his falsely identifying himself with the temporary material world can achieve real freedom from fear only by worshipping the lotus feet of the infallible Lord, Supreme Lord. In such devotional service, all fear ceases entirely.
Yeah, isn't that the truth? I mean, this is basically what we're preaching. As I tell you, say, hey, man, you want to get rid of this fear. You're falsely identifying with the false self. It's an illusion. You're looking at the reflection. See, but come into the society of devotees and learn how to meditate on the eternal Lord, and then you become happy, truly happy, and fear goes, gone, finished, done. Yeah. And then you just stay in love of God, for the rest of your zillion years of lives. Now you got life, so it's not a lifetime anymore. No more time. It's a life, eternal life. No more time. See, lifetime, there's a time limit, but not for a devotee. No, it's now you're a lifer, not a strifer. Strifer, strife always in the material world. All false identifications, all that causes strife and miseries, happiness, distress. Yeah, here we're in life. We just stay in life, man. Stay in bliss, stay in life. Yeah. And then we overcome fear so easily. You see the same preaching. We're doing that preaching. People can come and see, whoa, where's the fear in Lalita? Does she look like she's afraid of something or River? Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm just going to read that one again.
Yeah, it's
Please.
good. Good.
Sri Kavai said, I consider that one whose intelligence is constantly disturbed by his false identifying himself with the temporary material world can achieve real freedom from fear only by worshipping the lotus feet of the infallible Supreme Lord.
See, they identify with the world. That's the whole thing. They identify themselves as the world. See, as this body, material body. See, instead of, let me just identify with the supreme truth, man. Let's chant the glories of the Lord and become identified with the spiritual God, the real body, the spiritual body. See, identify where you lose fear, you go in love. How can you have fear when there's love? Devotion, ecstasy, is identifying with the real body. See, everybody is just identifying with the world because they need this association. Another reason why you need sadhu sangha, you need to see people identifying with their spiritual body. Not a bunch of bullshitters out there, people in these religions, in Vaishnava religion, still identifying with their body. And so when you're identifying with the spiritual body, the supreme spiritual body, that's the advanced position. The advanced devotees, they identify with the spiritual body so much so that the ecstasy of the Lord becomes reflected on them. When you come here and see devotees ecstatic and blissful and conclusive, you're seeing the truth and the ecstasy of God reflected on them. And how do you respond? That's the test. How close are you to the kingdom or how far away? Jesus had the same standard. He could tell. Prabhupada had the same standard. The devotee is the standard. They're the measure. Just automatically. How people respond to you is how close they are to the kingdom. And look how it is. Look at Amy. She just comes. How close can you see how close she is or how far she is from the kingdom? You can see how close because of she's like the verses we just read there. This devotional service is so potent that if you attentively hear it and you attentively chant the glories or both, or you give respect to it like a devotee like that, you can tell how close they are. They're getting the potency of this devotional service. That's what it's all about. If you're purifying, you're fighting it and all this, I don't know. So it's on, off for a while. And then you become more and more on fire with it. Literally on fire. You become that fire. Fire of truth, man. Fire of ecstatic love. Fire burns up all illusions. It's conclusive expression of God in this world. That's all you need, man. Yeah. That's how this world becomes beautiful again, really beautiful, beyond the modes of even goodness. Is the devotees drawing that transcendental Lord, that spotlessly pure one in this world by their glorification, by their worship like this. We're meditating on the Lord, and it's so wonderful to do. We're not just doing it because it's a discipline or we are supposed to. We love to, we want to, we have to. It is our life and soul now. It is soul food. The Lord is our soul food. We
You have
gobble him up.
not talk.
What?
Sorry, Maharaj.
That's okay. You gobble up the Lord. Okay, go ahead there, Reverend.
In such devotional service, all fear ceases entirely.
So isn't this a great way? This is what the world needs to convince, that all fear, the book says all fear completely goes. Even at a time like this, that's why it's a great test for us. Is our fear going away? But this devotional service drives it away. Fear is the illusion. How can the illusion stand before our Lord? It all comes from Radha and Krishna. And if we're into them, how can fear be into us? Hey, that's a secret. Go ahead.
Okay. Even ignorant living entities can very easily come to know the Supreme Lord if they adopt those means prescribed by the Supreme Lord himself. The process recommended by the Lord is to be known as Bhagavad Gita Dharma, or devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yes. O King, one who accepts this process of devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead the Supreme Personality of Godhead will never blunder on his path in this world. Even while running with eyes closed, he will never trip. He will never trip or fall. Wow. O King, one who accepts this process of devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead will never blunder on his path in this world. Even while running with his eyes closed, he will never trip or never trip or fall. In accordance with the particular nature one has acquired in conditional life. In accordance with particular nature one has acquired in conditional life. Whatever one does with body, words, mind, senses, intelligence, or purified consciousness, one should offer to the Supreme, thinking, this is for the pleasure of Lord Narayan.
Yeah. So the first phase is this is for the pleasure. That's the rule. See, the scripture says, yeah, you do this, and you're not really feeling the pleasure that much. Maybe a little bit. But this is for the real pleasure of the Lord. Is this what the Lord brought here is to take advantage, and then you will know that this is the pleasure. It's not, oh yeah, this is for the pleasure of the Lord, but I don't need any inducement. I'm just going to do it because I want that pleasure, man. I want to please the Lord. It feels so great to please God. You get it. You know, you're an example of this pleasure of the Lord in this world. Nobody knows what it is to please the transcendental senses of God. See, his senses are transcendental. People need to see, what does it look like to please the transcendental senses of the Lord? This is why I say in religion, in Vaishnava religion, they don't know what it looks like, even though it's described in the book. Because if they did, they would love this expression here. We're pleasing the transcendental senses of the Lord. You know, that ecstasy here is the transcendental pleasure of God. These conclusions are uttama slokas. They're the topmost slokas. Just what I said is a topmost sloka described in the book and the experience of the many devotees here. Uttama sloka. Yeah. Go ahead there, River. You're muted, probably.
Sorry, Maharaj. Fear arises when a living entity misidentifies himself as the material body because of absorption in the external.
Success. She's a success. She won. Victory, victory.
I just finished this verse, Maharaj, then is it all right? I've come off.
Yeah. I think we're all finished here too. 3 hours. It's good. It's a good little dose. We got it. We dosed ourselves. Doused ourselves and dosed. We doused ourselves with fire of God. Go ahead.
Okay. Illusory energy of the Lord. When the living entity thus turns away from the Supreme Lord, he also forgets his own constitutional position as a servant of the Lord. When the living entity thus turns away from the Supreme Lord, he also forgets his own constitutional position as a servant of the Lord.
So what is our job? We turn people back to the Lord, isn't that? Hey, look over here, man. You turned away. You're facing Maya. Man, no, face this. It's much more fun. Let us show you. Let us show you. Man, look at the intelligence you get here from facing the Lord. Look at the logic you get. Look at the transcendental happiness. Every day is a party. Yeah, come face the Lord. Let us show you how that's done. See, now this is time for that kind of guru, Daves, right? You guys show people how to face the Lord and how fun it is, how enjoyable, how you become free of fear and anxieties like these people are in now, because they're facing Maya. You're facing those who represent Maya all the way up into religion. See? So we're here to expose everything, expose religion, expose religious leaders for their own benefit so that they can also face the Lord if they want. If not, maybe some of their followers will face the Lord. Face these devotees here. If you come here, they're showing God that you're facing him because you're just seeing a conclusive understanding and ecstatic bliss here. That's all you're seeing. You're seeing the mellows of devotion manifested right here. You face here, you're facing the Lord. Otherwise, you're facing some level of Maya. Even if your gurus are nice and sincere and all that, but if they don't have this ecstatic devotion, they're not really fully facing the Lord yet. Ecstatic devotion is God, is Radha, pure like gold. And we know that, we show that, we demonstrate that. It gives you really clear, insightful intelligence, better than anybody. You learn the essence of life, what it is. Face the Lord. Let us show you. That's our work here. That's our play here. That's our purpose here. That's our mission here. Face the transcendental potency. Let us show you what that is. Let us demonstrate it. Let us glorify what that is. Let us talk about it. That's the real Krishna. Not a two-dimensional Krishna, not a picture of Krishna, just the 2 dimensions. No, here's 3, 4 dimensions. You see God in expression in the 3rd and 4th dimension. See, 4th dimension is a spiritual body, man. You see that activated here. Why wouldn't you want to come where such glory is? Quickly enter the kingdom, just entering this atmosphere. This is a portal here. Yeah. So on that, we'll end our little thing here. Does anybody want to give some closing statements? Give us a word there, Karuna.
Am I muted?
No.
Fuck yeah.
You shouldn't cuss here. Okay, Lilita, you give us give us a word. A
Thank
closing.
you. Thank you so much for this awesome class, Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much.
I didn't do anything. Krishna did everything. Radha and Krishna
did everything. Yeah.
Who was that was behind you, Karuna there? I saw it.
It's Emma.
Emma. Hey, let me see Emma again. Oh, there she is. Hi, Emma. Nice to see you
Let me
again.
get in now because he's. Hi.
Hi.
That was great.
Yeah. She's your PJ.
PJ. She's with pajamas. Yeah, PA Maharaj.
Yeah. Hey, whatever happened to that lady that was on the kidney machine?
Maharaj, she died last year?
Which lady?
Joanna. She
Oh,
died.
yeah, she's kicked the bucket.
She died last year.
Really?
She's feeding squirrels in
Yeah.
Vrindavan.
Yeah.
She had a kidney transplant too. Why did she die?
Yeah.
What did she die of?
They don't know what she died of. Well, they wouldn't tell me anyway. They found it in her bed.
Yeah.
She died.
Shit in her face.
She died in her sleep.
In her sleep. Okay, well, yeah.
Yeah. But she had loads of association from you. She chanted with me. Lots of association.
Yeah. Yeah, God bless her, Yeah, it's good she died in her sleep without a lot of pain. That's if you're gonna go, that's the way to go, huh?
She went into quarantine during the C virus epidemic. She went into isolation. She never came out again.
Oh, she did,
She
huh?
did.
She believed that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She did. She was very into all of that. Making sure that she isolates because of having, being on those drugs and things. But she did. She fed the animals in the park every day.
That's great. That's good.
Oh, fuck yeah.
That's good.
Okay, so France and the seas, you'll be happy with you.
Yeah.
All right, great. All right, we'll see everybody later. Thank you all for watching here, everybody. Yeah. Dean Smith for coming, and Shamaguri, Shamasundari was here, maybe.
Hare Krishna devotees.
And, whoever else.
Line to the United States, motherfuckers.
All right. Haribo.
Do more of this. Do more.